Hi, my name is Grace Haymond. I grew up in Utah. I grew up in Santaquin up until I was 15 and then moved to Pleasant Grove, Utah. I now live in Provo, Utah. Um, a little bit about me: I served my mission in Florida, Fort Lauderdale. I've been back for a little over a year. And now I'm doing school through Pathways, and it's been super fun. I work at a private school where I help with student success and student support for middle school and elementary school kids. A little bit about my family. I come from a family of 9 people, so there's 7 kids. I'm number 5. There's 4 brothers and 3 sisters. All 4 of my older siblings are all married, and 3 of the 4 have kids. So I have 6 nieces and nephews, and then I have 2 younger siblings. And I love my family. We're all really close. And it's kind of always been that way, and it's really awesome. But a little bit about my marriage vision. When I think about a vision for marriage, the main word that comes to my mind is communication. I think that communication is key to any relationship. And so in my vision for marriage, which by the way, I'm not married now, but I plan to be married in some future time. But I think communication is key to all relationships. There's a lot of different struggles and trials that we go through that communication could help with in a lot of ways. I think that it's important to have a balance between seriousness and lightheartedness. I think humor goes into relationships really well, and we need to make sure that we allow that into our relationships. I believe that if we have a need, me and my future spouse, if one of us has a need, then we need to communicate that to the other person. And one of the myths that we've been discussing in this class is that our spouse or our partner, whoever it might be, should know our needs automatically. And I think we all kind of go through that at times where we think that someone else needs to know our needs, but that's not really how it works. If we want a need to be met, we need to communicate that need to our spouse. A vision for my marriage is that I don't want to avoid conflict. I want to be able to address it and talk about it in a mature way. And even if that has to happen every day, I think that it's so much more important to address it than to let it linger on and build up until it explodes. And communication, that's my vision in every aspect. I remember one time I heard a story of a couple who said that they never fought ever in their marriage, and that was hard for me to believe because we all have differences, and I guess fighting depends on what that means, but I believe it's okay to have a disagreement and to argue, and even healthy, because if you can get through that, then your marriage is so much stronger and that relationship is stronger. And that's my vision, is to have that strong relationship full of communication. As far as the day-to-day life in my marriage, I believe that it's important to split responsibilities, but that doesn't always mean 50-50, which was another one of those myths, is that marriages should be 50-50 all the time. And that's just not realistic. There's going to be times where your spouse can only give 10% and you got to give 90%. And there's going to be times when you both can give 100%. And I think we need to be able to split those responsibilities, but also understand that at times you're going to have to do more than your spouse, or the other way around. I also believe it's important to understand each other's weaknesses. Something that I do have a weakness of is at times I wish that my boyfriend, for example, would know exactly what I'm thinking, that he could read my mind. But that's just not how it works, and that goes back to the communication. I need to understand that if I need a need met, I need to communicate that need. I also need to understand that if I need a need met, I need to do everything I can to meet that need. And that goes for both me and my future spouse, and any person I'm in a relationship with. I think there's a lot of myths that we believe, and we need to crush those myths and understand that there's deeper principles that are much more important.